So one thing that we're talking about is that we currently building a fund to support this, the Design Your Unicorn program. And this fund is, as part of this fund, we will be selecting a number of unicorn, and we are here to do, you know, everything that we do. The program that we gonna show today is gonna be the basis on which we're gonna select, you know, the unicorn. There's gonna be several phases, and as part of their phases, they'll be able to pitch to investors. Those investors were actually gonna, you know, participate in the fund, and if they are successful throughout the process, everything will be actually supported by the investor, but they really need to look at it first as, you know, being part of the cohort, which gonna be, you know, and we're gonna help them all the way to build up and scale up their business. So this is a summary of the process that we will be using to support you through the process to secure investment, but also to scale up your business. So there's 5 stages. The stage 1, which is the white start, which is the idea. I mean, when you start, you have an idea for your business, but it's not really well defined. So that's the white phase, so the starting point for you. Then there's the stage 2. Stage 2 is more about you getting the right mindset, getting ready to put a business together, but still, you know, there's still no structure at this point in time. And so there's, you know, you need to go to this stage 3, which is the green stage, where you start your business and you're basically self-employed at this level, and there's no particular support. Still, you kind of doing everything yourself, and trying to find out how you're gonna you know, push your structure and grow your structure. And then stage 4 is what we call the blue ocean. So that's the focus mentoring. So you get the support to grow your business, get the support from a structure. So you have you know, employees that can support you in your business, but you're still so this one is, what's actually the difference? I'm stopping again. What's the difference here, Anship? So it's when you are basically a business owner and you have already a structure and people working for you. Hello.
Looks good. Looks good. So just remember one thing, Mireille, do mention about that, and maybe you can write it out. That will be able to help you to you know, talk about it. The white belt is actually an ideation stage. The yellow belt is the product development stage. The green belt is the early revenues stage.
Okay.
The blue belt is something which you are actually scaling up your business, or you are setting up the right processes and systems.
Okay.
The black belt is all about transforming your business globally and getting a wide network of customers as well as investors.
So the black is, so you scale up internationally and getting investors.
So investment, and that is what I'm coming to. So investment and revenues has to be a parallel part of at all the 5 levels. At least at the 4 levels. Because unless you have some revenues coming in, investors won't come in. And if investors are not there, your revenues generation will be at a problem, because you will require capital to raise to generate that revenue.
mhm, mhm,
And initially, you need to invest a lot of amount in marketing, sales, operations
mhm.
to test out
Okay.
your ideas. So, see, keep this point in a very subtle manner that they should not feel that, if I already have a product, I can
Mhm,
directly jump to green belt. They
mhm,
cannot.
mhm. Okay. So
Whichever
it's
stage they are in, they have to go through each phase step by step.
So basically telling them that jumping from, stage 1 or 2 to the end is actually not, not I mean not one of the recommendation, because some people do that, but that's not the norm, and they actually gonna struggle going forward to get, the
So if it's
investors
something
coming in.
like I give this example. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
if you have to go to a step 10, you can't directly jump to the step 10. And if you have wrong, you might have done lot of you know uh, what do you say, the hit and trial processes to run and reach
mm-hmm,
to that level that may or may not be perfect. So the whole idea of this design your unicorn process is that you go through the right process steps,
mm-hmm,
step by step, and you kind of make your base very very strong. If your base
mm-hmm,
is not strong, you cannot fly higher. So if you really want to become a unicorn, then
mm-hmm.
you need to have your strengthen your base, and it starts from the bottom. If
Okay.
they are okay with our methodology, we will work with them. If they are not okay with our methodology, we won't want to work with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so I got it. And then just talk about the different stages. I mean, the time that we recommend that they spend on different stages. So the white belt is 21 days. Level 2 will be 21 weeks. And so when they reach the early revenue stage, which is the level 3, the third level is we have your 23 fortnights, and the fourth level, which is the when you start to scale up, it's going to take you about
One
21
month.
months, yeah, to do that. And so when you reach the black, the black belt, which is more which is international, when we scale up and we want to go for the international market and cross-border market, look at cross-border market, then 21 quarters is what we spent, with the future unicorns.
Yes, eventually, if you total it up, Myril, you can say that it is a 3 to 5 years process to
Mm-hmm,
design your unicorn and eventually, uh, you know, be perfect your idea to achieve your $1 billion dream.
mm-hmm. Okay. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the question. Is it always 3 to 4 years?
Don't worry, whenever there is a
Yeah.
question and if I feel that I need to jump in, I'll jump in
Mm-hmm,
myself. I'll take a
mm-hmm.
permission from you and jump in.
No, it's just yeah, where people are. So just to give you, what we propose in terms of cost, if you join, the if you're happy to join the community. So to join is free, so you can join and get, access to e-learning model and connect with the rest of the Bringo community. When you embark into the design your unicorn process, so at stage 1, it's gonna cost you 120 US dollars, so 9,000 Indian rupee. That's what you say, Indian
Okay,
rupee,
so here is
for
a
five
caution.
days of
Here is a
yeah.
caution here. You don't need to specify the amount here
Okay.
because it is only for them to get a mindset ready that
Mm-hmm.
we are going to ask some money. So it's just
Okay.
it's just a mindset set, and
Mm-hmm.
you just explain in this, and they can read it very well themselves.
Okay.
They'll immediately figure it out. The what you should do is you should only say that right now we are only taking admissions for our white belt certification, which
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a 5 days investment readiness challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And basis on the selection criteria, basis on the successful completion, we will you will be eligible for our yellow belt certification. Green
Mm-hmm.
belt,
Okay.
blue belt, and black belt, we will take it up after that. So right now
Mm-hmm.
they should be very clear in their mind that we are offering them a white belt certification, followed which they will be going for a yellow belt certification.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's also where we have to tell them that, you know, if after the white belt certification, they are in a position to secure an investor, then the rest of the process will be taken care of by the investor.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Okay, all right. So basically, so the message here is so they can join the community for free. At this stage, we are about to embark into the white belt certification, which is going to be a 5-day investment readiness challenge, and they will be pitching and based on the pitch and what they're gonna how they're gonna perform, will be able to certify them to go to the next level. And through the pitching process, if they are able to secure an investor, it's going to be easier for them going forward, because the investor will take over the cost of the rest of the process. All right,
Absolutely.
so that's good. So, so our next cohort, which is the version 3.0, is we're looking at a batch of 30 people, and those people are going to be selected based on, you know, based on the what we've just told them right now, which is, you know, pitching, going through the 5 days challenge. And then after the pitch, if they're successful, then they can, you know, go to the yellow certification. And it's going to start in October. And the investment for the white belt and then get the certification to go to start the yellow belt certification is $150. And we have, you know, we have a rebate that we will show at the end of the webinar. So there is a rebate for at the early stage, and then obviously we'll apply the $120 so far.
Okay, so what you can also do at this stage is, Mireille, you can ask them who is excited to be part of this 5 days investment readiness challenge. Type yes in the chat window. Don't allow them to talk till the time your webinar is completed. So they will just completely disrupt the flow of your presentation. So
Okay.
just whatever you want them to communicate, they can put that in the chat window. That's all. And just tell them that you can, there will be who is excited to be part of this 5 days investment readiness challenge, and type yes into the chat window so that you get to know certain prospects or people who could be interested. Because during the entire presentation, these people would be thinking, oh, if I get something lesser than $120, then I will buy it. Might be having some figure in their mind. Okay, I can pay $60, I can pay $70, I can pay $100, anything like that. And once they see some value which is like a $50, they should be immediately grabbing it up.
Okay, all right. And I guess what we need, it's probably at the end, we need to basically create the urgency on the price so that they
Absolutely.
can.
And you tell them that this offer will be there only for the people who are in this webinar and is applicable only for this webinar.
Okay. All right. So just to give you a little bit of background and a little bit of status on what we how the entrepreneurship market is at the moment. So, okay. I missed this one. Okay. So we have approximately 100 million entrepreneurs and 150 million startups. 50% of them, you know, just to give you the statistic, 50% of them close within 1 hour and 90% don't survive beyond the third year. 8% get considered for funding, and less than 4% gets those funding and achieve, you know, sustainability. And we so the statistics are really you know, they are telling us the whole story. It's very important that we follow the right process from the beginning, because otherwise we'll be, you know, part of this statistic of failure, which is very high at this stage. I think it's 97%, 98%, you know, as failure as far as, you know, startups are concerned. Okay, so what's the story here?
Here, the keyword here is mindset transformation. So if you are already an employee, if you are working an employee, what kind of startup challenges you can think of coming ahead with you? In terms of it is going to be an uphill task, your mindset has to change from I can't afford it to how can I afford it. And you can't work 9 to 5 now. You have to be a full-time entrepreneur, which means you might be working 12 hours, 15 hours, 18 hours in a day without breaks.
Okay, all right. So so the key idea here is the mindset transformation. And so it's so if you are an employee, you have to change your mindset drastically, from I can't do it to what is it? I can't afford it to I can't do.
Okay, so
I'm getting disturbed by this and this.
Okay. Okay. So Mireille, if you are, not comfortable at
I'm
any
not
point in time,
comfortable actually right now because I
so
think I still
just
need
show
to
it.
get.
Just show it. Just show that to him and move to the next slide. That's okay.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to explain the entire slide.
Okay, so I can just mention about the mindset transformation that is necessary to start, you know, to become an entrepreneur, to go from, you know, your 9 to 5 employee to a full-time entrepreneur. There's a mindset shift that is required, and it's one extreme to another. From the I can't afford it to I will be able to, I can do it and I can afford it. So I think that's all I'm going to say at this point. And this mindset transformation will start the process of really you embracing entrepreneurship, which means, you know, in a way that you go from being an employee who work for money to becoming somebody that, you know, make money work for him or for her. So just to give you a little bit of, you know, context, how you will differentiate an employee compared to an entrepreneur. So as an employee, you work and you work actually very hard, and you get some support and you get income that related to your sometimes not always related to your effort, but at least related to the level that, you know, people think where you are. But as an entrepreneur, you work on something that is exciting to you, and you know, you put all those serious effort as well, and you create something, and from this something you earn income. Whereas, you know, as an employee, you basically seen as somebody who deserves something, and sometimes it might not actually be what exactly what you deserve, and then from this something you receive a compensation. So that's the key difference. It's, you know, as an entrepreneur, you are a creator. As an employee, you basically receive, and based on, you know, a certain ranking, or a certain how people see the effort that you bring. Okay, so let me just look at it again. Money, work for money, and then versus money working for you. Okay, all right, got it right. It's just those subtitle. So something, so that your income, it's something that you earn later, and then your as an employee, is something you receive immediately. Okay, I think I need to say that.
Maybe you can, rather than going through the entire slide, you can
Mhm,
just ask them to go through it themselves
mhm,
and
mhm,
say who is able to relate to what, maybe
mhm,
work, serious effort, support, or income. And they
mhm,
can just put the short form of that. So work, W for work, serious effort for S, serious effort for FE,
mhm,
support for S, and income for I.
mhm,
So
mhm,
which they feel that their mindset is already ready for.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
so they can just say that, I am ready for W. I need improvement for I, something
mhm,
like that. So
mhm,
now
mhm.
that way you are engaging them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's the one where there's so much to be said. So I don't know if they, you know, they're probably familiar. A lot of them are going to be familiar with. So
So maybe you
the
can
up.
ask a quick question. How many of you are aware of
Mhm,
ESBI framework?
mhm.
So
I
let them
think
say yes,
that's.
no, yes, no, whatever. And that way
Mhm,
you can explain that accordingly. If you find that a lot of people are not aware, then you can quickly glance through it.
mhm.
Otherwise, if you know about it, then you can quickly move to the next slide.
Okay, all right. So just to check that I have the right understanding here is, you know, so that's the quadrant, the financial quadrant, based on Robert Kiyosaki work. So the E is the employee, which is, you know, where most of the people are, you know, you have a job, and from the E, you get to self-employed. So you own a job. Where at this stage, you're not, you know, you don't really have a business, but you organize yourself according to what you want to achieve. And then the B is stand for, you know, from the self-employed, you can go to become a business owner. So you own a system that works for you. So that's a bigger structure in a way. And then the I is investor. So which which is where we all want to be as entrepreneur, is, you know, have money working for us. So that's really the basis of, you know, the design the unicorn process. And then I can engage with them and ask them, you know, if, you know, they're familiar with that, and if they have any question on, you know, on the different style and where they are so far. So just to get to, for them to have an idea of, you know, what, you know, what they feel and where they are in this quadrant. So then, you know, when I've asked them where they are, I can ask them, you know, where they want to be, and then get, you know, their input on that. Do they want to be an employee? Do they want to, I mean, stay an employee or be an employee all their life, self-employed, business owner, or investor, and why? So that can be also a good info to get from them. So this is, you know, we basically superimpose the ESBI model with the mindset that we need to have. And I think one area that we all know is, the safe and area where most of us, want to be, which is the comfort zone, which is an area where we're safe and in control. And that's the area where we are when we are an employee. We have, we know exactly what we're going to get at the end of the month, and everything is in basically control in a way. And then there's, as you grow, so there's a fear zone. That's where we have, people who are self-employed because they take a risk. There's a lot of uncertainty, and so there's the lack of self-confidence kicking, and sometimes we find excuses, and we're affected by what people say about, about us or about our business. So it's a fear zone. As we grow and become business owners, we get in an environment where we can learn a lot. So we deal with challenges and problems, but at the same time, we acquire new skills, and we basically extend our comfort zone. And then there's the growth zone where or most of the investors are, where money is working for them. It's, we find a purpose, we live, basically our dream, and then we set the goals and go after all the objective that we have. So at this point, I can ask them as well where they think they are in as part, in this mindset, and then see if they recognize themselves here. Okay, so this one, so I can put it. These are statistics based on the quadrant. So we realized that 5% of the wealth is in the end of 5% of the population. Is it the message here? And then the rest of the population is doesn't have access to this health, and they're mostly employees. Or do I read it well?
So the way it has to be done is you say that the left quadrant, which has employees and self-employed, they are the 95% population and owns only 5% of the wealth.
Okay.
While
All right.
the people on the right side of it, who are the business owners and investors, they are contribute to only 5% of population, but they own 95% of the wealth.
Okay.
And that is why the transition from self-employed to business owner is very, very difficult, and not everybody can achieve.
Okay. All right. I get it. So basically it's, reading it per quadrant. So 95% of the population is in the first quadrant, and they only own 5% of the wealth. And then when you jump to the next quadrant, that's, 5% of the population, and 95% they get, they own 95% of the wealth. And yeah, so, and then mentioning that that's the hard part, to jump from one quadrant to another and become a business owner and later on an investor. Okay, good. Okay, so as you can imagine, entrepreneurs have to wear, numerous hats. So they have to be able to produce business plan, to look at, do the marketing, be salespeople, do the administration. And so there's a lot of things that they need to take care of. And the message is what? Is it a question for them to know, as an entrepreneur, what do you think you should focus on, just to make, just for them to
You
participate?
should engage them here. Let us understand their perspective, that whether they think that as an entrepreneur or business owner, is their focus only on sales, is their focus only on product development or strategy. And then at the end of it, you tell them that it's not only one hat, it's all the hats you have to wear as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Because
Right.
when you start off your business, you're working as an employee in your own business and you have to do everything on your own.
Okay, all right, so I get this one. I was a bit lost here. Okay, so how do we go from the transition? So that's the entrepreneur. As far as, investors are concerned, this is what they look for. So they look for, founder strength and failures. So they need, to see some experience from whoever is asking for the funding, the market size, traction for customer acceptance. So what is the traction for customer acceptance? Is this, how many people you
Yeah, so it is
attract?
basically traction means that how many customers have accepted your idea and
Oh, okay.
they have bought up your product or a service. So
Mm-hmm.
traction is, I mean, there could be one customer, two customers, five customers, 10 customers, but there should be paid customers who are ready to pay, because there is no business unless there is a customer who is ready to pay. You can keep
Okay.
on doing charity forever. So we'll
Oh,
keep taking it. But unless somebody is ready to pay for it, no investor is going to invest in your idea.
all right. So that's yeah, that's the missing part that I had. Okay, so now I understand. So the competitor analysis has to be, strong and bootstrapping, not pocket money.
Maybe at that point in time, you can just ask me to share that story which I
Yeah,
was sharing,
yeah,
and then you take it up from there. Maybe I can share that story myself, and that will kind of give them a little perspective.
yeah. I think I prefer you to share the story because you're most familiar. So at that point, so I think what we need to highlight here is, because I think sometimes we feel like the idea and then the product is enough, but this traction is important for investors, and also the bootstrapping that we just mentioned right now. It's something that is really key. Okay, I had it really well yesterday and I forgot. I think this part you should take over, I think, to explain,
Sure, I can do that. I can do.
yeah, yeah, I think because it's a bit more specific to the program.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll do this slide this time. You understand it, and for the next webinar,
Now
you
the next
can
webinar I'll
try
do
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll get more time to go through it for next week. I think next week I just didn't have time to really digest everything. So at
No problem.
least,
No
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Okay, so I will leave them over here if you want, and then you can take it forward from here.
Okay, all right. So okay, let's just say again. So after this one, or I can.
So I'll take up from the story, the last one, the
the last one
bootstrapping
from
not
the
pocket
story.
money,
Okay, all right.
and then on I can take it up quickly and bring it up to the level where we are asking for $50 kind of thing.
$50, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
I
I'll
think.
come to that slide till that level, and then you can take it forward from there.
Because I think this part is important because it's defining the program at what we do, and you don't want to miss that. And then it comes to the price, and after that, so yeah, I think this is just, and then this one I think I can do is just really summarizing. So that's the question part where we ask them to have question, and these are the 3 people to contact for the program.
Yeah. Maybe what you can also mention is that we are building up a $1 billion fund for these 100 unicorns to be coming in by 2030. So this you can kind of mention it at the end. Don't give them such a big things at the start of
from the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, but at the end you can say that we are currently building up a fund of $100 million by 2025, and eventually we will scale that fund to a $1 billion fund.
So by 2025, you said it's what? $100
million.
100 million. Okay, so 100 million, and then 1 billion. Okay, all right, for those 100 unicorns. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. No, I think next week I'll be okay. Because I have the presentation now, I can, start to put my mindset and be familiar with the process.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Then all the best. I think this seems to be good. You just do escape if you want to go to the first line.
Yeah.
This will be a really good webinar, Mireille. This is something wonderful. And you caught most of it. It's some little tweaking that needs to be done. And by next week, I think you will be fully on.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's just that I didn't have, especially the detail part. I need to sit down and really have it, and then so I can explain it with my own words, not following the slides. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay. All right. What time is it?
Almost 4
in an hour.
Still have half an hour, so that's good. Sure, I'm gonna go through again. Based on
yeah, let me see if I can ask Simran to join, and at least she can send the links of payment and stuff like that. Let me check with her.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mireille. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I'll see actually later in half an hour. I'll go through my notes again and.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All the best.
See you.
See you.
See you. All the best.
Thank you.